Hey everyone, welcome back to World Information HD channel. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if this old penny is actually worth a fortune? Well, you might be sitting on a literal gold mine, or should I say, a copper mine. Because today, we're diving into the top 7 most valuable rare US Lincoln 1-cent penny coins that are worth thousands, even millions of dollars. From doubled dies to rare mint errors, these coins are more than just old metal. They're treasures hiding in plain sight. So grab your magnifying glass, because you won't believe how much some of these pennies have sold for. Let's get started. If you're into coin collecting, rare pennies, or just love hearing stories about spare change turning into serious cash, then today's episode is for you. Because in this video, we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable Lincoln cents, specifically the incredible 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that's recently shocked collectors and investors with a jaw-dropping market value of up to $54,298. That's right, a penny. Just 1 cent, made in 1969, with no mint mark, has been valued at over $54,000. So how does such a small, ordinary-looking coin become so valuable? What makes this coin special? And more importantly, could you have one sitting unnoticed in your pocket, your coin jar, or your childhood collection? Stick around, because we're breaking it all down. Let's start with a bit of background. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, has been a mainstay of American currency since 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it became the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of a real person, President Lincoln himself. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original design featured Lincoln's bust on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, and that's the design the 1969 penny uses. Now let's talk about the 1969 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. Most pennies minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, which is the case here. So just having a 1969 penny without a mint mark isn't automatically a sign of value. Millions were made. However, one incredibly rare error coin has made all the difference. And that's where this story gets exciting. What we're really looking for is the 1969 double die obverse (DDO) penny with no mint mark, minted in Philadelphia. This is a famous error where the obverse, or front, of the coin was struck twice, slightly misaligned, causing a dramatic doubling effect on the words and date. If you've ever seen one, it's unmistakable. "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the 1969 date all appear doubled. This isn't a subtle or light doubling, it's bold and clear even to the naked eye. Why did this happen? In short, during the die creation process at the US Mint, one of the working hubs used to make the dies was misaligned, and the doubling wasn't caught before the dies were used in production. As a result, a small number of 1969 pennies were struck with this doubled image, and only a very limited number escaped into circulation before the mint discovered the error. But here's where it gets wild. The Secret Service was once involved in confiscating these coins, believing them to be counterfeits due to the dramatic doubling. Once it was confirmed that the coins were genuine mint products and not forgeries, collectors began hunting them down feverishly. Today, fewer than 100 authentic 1969 double die no mint mark pennies are known to exist, and most of them are in circulated condition. A high-grade, verified specimen, especially one graded mint state by PCGS or NGC, can command an astonishing premium, and that's how we arrive at the current market value of $54,298 for a top-tier example. Let's break it down even further. If you find a 1969 no-mint mark penny in your pocket change, here's what you should be looking for. Doubling on the obverse text. Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," across the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the date, 1969, itself. If these letters and numbers appear clearly doubled, you could have a winner. Condition of the coin. Like with all coins, condition plays a huge role in value. A 1969 DDO in circulated condition may still be worth several $1,000s, but if you happen to have one in near mint state, that's when the big money comes in. High grades like MS-64, MS-65, or MS-66 can push the value toward $54,000 or more. No mint mark under the date. Make sure your coin doesn't have a small d or s under the year. This valuable variety was only minted in Philadelphia, which means no mint mark should be present. Authentication is critical. This coin is one of the most heavily counterfeited in American numismatics. That means if you think you've got a 1969 double die, don't try to sell it raw. Get it authenticated and graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Only certified coins will command the highest prices and be trusted by serious buyers. Now let's talk about auction history. Several examples of the 1969 no mint mark double die Lincoln cent have sold at auction for jaw-dropping amounts. One MS-64 red specimen sold at public auction for over $54,000. Another in slightly lower condition still brought in more than $35,000. Even circulated examples, with visible wear, have been known to sell for between $10,000 and $20,000, depending on eye appeal and certification. In other words, this is no ordinary penny. This is a rare U.S. mint error that has become one of the most famous and desirable coins in modern American numismatics. So how likely are you to find one? Honestly, not very. But people have found them in pocket change, coin rolls, and old family collections. It's rare, yes, but it's not impossible. And the possibility of turning 1 cent into over $50,000 is reason enough to take a few seconds and check your 1969 pennies. And here's a pro tip: if you're coin roll hunting or searching through change, always set aside every 1969 no mint mark penny you come across. Then inspect them under magnification or in strong light. The difference between a common penny and a fortune could just be a matter of detail. Now let's quickly summarize what makes the 1969 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth up to $54,298. It's a genuine double die obverse variety. It has no mint mark because it was struck in Philadelphia. It shows bold doubling in key inscriptions like Liberty and the date. It's extremely rare. Fewer than 100 known. It's worth far more in high-grade condition. It must be authenticated by PCGS or NGC to realize its full value. So before you toss that old change aside, remember that one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever made might be sitting unnoticed in your drawer, waiting to be discovered. It's the kind of story we love, a small, forgotten coin turning into a life-changing payday. If you learned something new today, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare coins, valuable errors, and hidden treasures from U.S. history. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And hey, if you think you found a 1969 double die penny, tell us in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story, and who knows, maybe your discovery could be featured in a future video. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you love discovering the hidden value of everyday coins, then you're in for a treat today. Because we're about to uncover the fascinating story and shocking value of the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin that could be hiding in your change jar, your old piggy bank, or maybe even in your wallet right now. That's right. While most people would toss this penny aside without a second thought, the right 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth as much as $29,478 in today's collector market. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $30,000 for a single 1 cent coin. So sit back, grab your favorite drink, and let's dive deep into the history, key features, and real-world values of this often overlooked treasure from the past. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin replaced the Indian head cent and made history as the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The obverse, or front, of the coin was designed by Victor David Brenner and features a right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln. The reverse, from 1959 to 2008, displayed the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Now, the 1973 Lincoln cent falls squarely within the Memorial Reverse era. Over 3.9 billion pennies were struck that year at the Philadelphia Mint, and since Philadelphia did not place a mint mark on pennies at that time, these coins appear without any mint mark below the date. So when we say, "No mint mark," we're simply talking about coins from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Although billions were made, not all 1973 pennies are created equal. Most are only worth face value, 1 cent, even in decent condition. But certain examples with exceptional characteristics can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, one 1973 no mint mark penny in mint state 67 red, MS 67 RD, condition sold for an astonishing $29,478 at a major auction. Why? Because of a few important factors that we're about to break down. First, let's talk about coin grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 using the Sheldon grading scale. A grade of 70 means a perfect coin with no visible flaws under magnification. Most coins in circulation fall far below that level, usually grading between VF20 and -50 Australian dollars if they're still in halfway decent shape. However, an uncirculated 1973 penny that grades MS 66 or higher, especially with a red RD designation, is extremely rare and valuable, which brings us to the color designations used for copper coins. You'll hear terms like brown, BN, red-brown, RB, and red RD when evaluating copper pennies. Over time, copper oxidizes and turns brown, so the original red luster is hard to preserve. A 1973 penny that still retains its full red color, as it appeared when freshly minted, is not only beautiful but also significantly more valuable to collectors. Now, let's take a moment to talk about population rarity. It's not just about how many were minted, it's about how many survived in top condition. Out of billions made, only a small handful of 1973 pennies have been graded MS 67 RD or higher by major grading services like PCGS or NGC. That extreme rarity in top condition is what drives the value of coins like the $29,478 penny. Another factor that can raise the value of a 1973 penny is the presence of mint errors or varieties. While not as common in 1973 as in other years, you may find examples with doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even a repunched date. These errors can significantly increase the value, especially if they're dramatic and paired with a high-grade specimen. So how do you know if your 1973 no mint mark penny is valuable? Here are some steps you can take to evaluate it. Check the condition. If your penny is scratched, discolored, or heavily circulated, it probably isn't worth more than a few cents. But if it has full detail, no visible wear, and a bright red shine, you might have something special. Look for the red color. As we mentioned earlier, coins with full red coloration are much more valuable than those that have turned brown. Look at the coin under good lighting to see if the copper luster is still vibrant. Use a magnifying glass. Check for doubling, especially on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust. Any signs of doubling or unusual features could indicate a valuable mint error. Get it graded. If you think you've found a gem, it's worth submitting it to a professional grading service. A certified grade from PCGS or NGC will give you proof of your coin's condition and authenticity, which makes it much easier to sell to a serious collector or auction house. Let's talk about some real-world sales to give you an idea of how the market values these coins. An MS 67 RD 1973 no mint mark penny sold for $29,478 at auction, as we mentioned earlier. Other high-grade examples, like MS 66 RD or MS 65 RD, have sold for amounts ranging from $300 to $1,500, depending on the eye appeal and the demand at the time of sale. Even lower-grade uncirculated coins, say MS 64 RD, can still bring in $50 to $100, which is quite a return on a 1-cent piece. And if you have a mint error, that could push the value even higher. Collectors love unique, unusual coins, especially if they're rare and in great shape. So why is this penny so beloved among collectors? Well, for one thing, the 1973 Lincoln penny represents the classic style of American coinage that many collectors grew up with. It's familiar, nostalgic, and iconic. But more importantly, it proves that modern coins, even ones from the 1970s, can be extremely valuable under the right conditions. The market for rare Lincoln cents continues to grow as more collectors enter the hobby and compete for the best examples. This increased demand has pushed auction prices higher, especially for coins in top condition. So the 1973 no-mint mark penny is not just a historical artifact, it's an investment. If you're just getting started with coin collecting, Lincoln cents are a fantastic place to begin. They're affordable, easy to find, and full of hidden gems like this one. Who knows? The next great discovery could be sitting in your pocket change right now. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap. The 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Billions were made, but only a few survived in MS67 RD condition. A top-graded example sold for a record price of $29 for a 78. Value depends on grade, color, and rarity, and errors can increase the price. Always check your coins and consider getting them graded if they look exceptional. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the 1973 penny and learned something new, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss a future update about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Got a 1973 penny in your collection? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories and help you evaluate your finds. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that might look incredibly ordinary, a coin that millions of people might overlook every day. But if you know what to look for, this humble little penny could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. I'm talking about the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has recently made headlines for being sold at auction for as much as $33,897. Yes, you heard that right. A 1974 penny, without any visible mint mark, just sold for more than $33,000. So how can a 1-cent coin be worth that much? What makes it rare? And how can you check your own 1974 pennies to see if you're holding a hidden fortune? We're going to cover it all in today's video: the history, the key details, the rare varieties, and most importantly, how to know if your 1974 penny is valuable. So stick around, grab a magnifying glass, and maybe your old coin jar too, because you might just be holding one of the most valuable coins in your entire collection. Let's get started. Section 1. History of the 1974 Lincoln penny. The 1974 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was issued from 1959 to 2008. The obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It's the same design introduced back in 1909, honoring Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, and it remained the standard reverse design on U.S. cents for nearly 50 years. Now let's focus on the minting process for 1974. During that year, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark for proofs. So, when you see a 1974 penny without a mint mark, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. And that's perfectly normal. But here's the twist. Not all 1974 no mint mark pennies are created equal. While most are common, some possess exceptional traits that make them extremely valuable. A combination of rare die varieties, minting errors, and superb condition can push the value of one of these pennies to over $33,000. Section 2. What makes the 1974 no mint mark penny so valuable? So, what exactly turns a penny into a small fortune? There are several major factors to look out for when evaluating a 1974 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Point 1. High grade condition, MS67 or higher. The most important factor is the condition, also called the grade of the coin. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state, MS, coins rated from MS60 to MS70. If your 1974 penny is in MS67 RD or MS68 RD condition, meaning it is uncirculated, brilliant red, and flawless under magnification, it can be extremely valuable. Coins like these are extremely rare. Out of hundreds of millions minted, Only a handful remain in such pristine condition, and that's what drives the value through the roof. The $33,897 price tag comes from an actual sale of a 1974 no mint mark penny graded MS68 read by a top-tier grading service like PCGS.2. Red color, RD, designation Lincoln pennies are made of copper, and copper naturally oxidizes and darkens over time. Red RD designation means the coin has retained more than 95% of its original red color from when it was minted. Coins graded red are significantly more valuable than red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, examples of the same year and grade. Point 3. Rarity of population in top grades. Even though hundreds of millions of 1974 pennies were struck, only a tiny number have survived in high MS67 or MS68 condition with the red designation. The lower the population of these coins, the higher the demand among collectors, and that's what pushes values up into the five-figure range. Point 4. Minting errors and die varieties. Although the most famous mint error for 1974 is the aluminum penny, which we'll touch on later, there are also known examples of 1974 pennies with die cracks, double dies, and off-center strikes. While these aren't as valuable as ultra-high-grade red coins, a strong error can still push the value of your coin into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Section 3. Famous sales and auction records. Let's talk about real-world numbers now, because the value of a coin is only as real as what someone is willing to pay for it. Point 1. Of the highest prices ever paid for a 1974 no mint mark penny came from a public auction where a PCGS certified MS68 RD example sold for $33,897. That's right, over $33,000 for a coin that, to the untrained eye, looks just like pocket change. Other MS67 RD examples have regularly sold between $1,500 and $3,000, while even MS66 RD coins can sell for $200 to $500. The lower the grade, the lower the value. But if your coin is brilliant red and uncirculated, it's worth taking a second look. It's also worth noting that rare mint errors, like double die obverse or extreme off-center strikes, have also brought in over $1,000 per coin, depending on severity and condition. Section 4. How to tell if your 1974 penny is valuable. So, how do you know if your 1974 penny is worth $33,000 or just 1 cent? Here's a step-by-step checklist. Step 1. Check for no mint mark. Your coin should say 1974 with no mint mark underneath the date. That confirms it was minted in Philadelphia. Step 2. Examine the color. Is the coin still bright red, or has it turned brown or red-brown? If it's fully red, that's a very good sign. Red coins are far more desirable. Step 3. Check the condition. Is the coin uncirculated? Does it have sharp detail with no scratches or nicks? If it looks perfect to the naked eye, and especially under magnification, it might be in mint state condition. Step 4. Look for errors. Use a magnifier to examine Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering. Do you see doubling? Raised lines or cracks? An off-center strike? All of these could increase the value. Step 5. Get the coin graded. If you think your coin is in exceptional condition, the best thing to do is send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade dramatically increases trust among collectors and often multiplies the coin's value. Section 5. The mystery of the 1974 aluminum penny. Now, no conversation about 1974 Lincoln cents is complete without mentioning the legendary aluminum pennies. In 1974, due to rising copper costs, the U.S. Mint experimented with producing pennies in aluminum. Over 1.5 million of these test coins were made, but almost all were destroyed before being released. Only a few escaped the melting pot, and today they are among the rarest coins in existence. These 1974 aluminum pennies are considered illegal to own and are mostly held in government collections. However, if one were ever legally sold, experts believe it could fetch over $250,000 or more. Conclusion: should you check your 1974 pennies? Absolutely. To wrap it up, the 1974 no mint mark Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but under the right conditions, it can be worth an incredible amount of money. We're talking about a potential value of up to $33,897. And that's not a theoretical number. That's a real-world sale. All it takes is a coin in the right condition, with the right color and features, and you could be holding a treasure in the palm of your hand. So don't overlook your change. Go through your penny jars, coin rolls, and inherited collections. You never know when one of those old 1974 pennies might turn out to be the one that changes everything. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our weekly uploads about rare and valuable coins. And if you've got a 1974 penny or any interesting coins in your collection, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and check your pocket change. That next coin might just be worth $33,897. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's episode might just make you look at your spare change a little differently. Because we're diving deep into a coin that most people would completely overlook, the 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, you're probably thinking, 2000? That's not that old. And you're absolutely right. But here's the twist. Under the right conditions, this coin, this tiny copper-plated zinc penny, could be worth up to $13,467. That's right, over $13,000 for a penny minted in the year 2000. So stick around, because we're going to break down exactly why this coin is valuable, how to spot the rare varieties, and how you could turn a 1-cent coin into a major payday. Let's jump in. Let's start with the basics. The 2000 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the obverse side, or the front, you'll see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, you can spot on the lower shoulder of Lincoln's bust. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. In the year 2000, these pennies were struck at two main U.S. mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Denver have a D mint mark, but coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, and that's what we're focusing on today. Now, it's important to point out that a 2000 penny without a mint mark is not automatically rare or valuable. Most were mass-produced and are only worth face value. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint struck more than 5.5 billion of these pennies in 2000 alone. So why would one be worth $13 for 67? Great question, and it all comes down to condition, mint errors, and grade rarity. First, let's talk about condition. Most 2000 pennies have seen years of circulation. They've been in pockets, purses, jars, vending machines, you name it. These coins are usually scratched, worn, and discolored. But a tiny number have survived in perfect mint state condition. We're talking MS68 or higher, with full original red luster and zero imperfections visible to the naked eye or under magnification. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC use a 70-point scale to assess coin quality. A coin graded MS68 RD, which means mint state 68 red, is exceptionally rare for a 2000 penny. And that's where the value begins to skyrocket. Only a handful of 2000 no-mint mark pennies have ever achieved this elite grade. That's why, in a recent auction, one such coin sold for a staggering $13 for 67. Now let's talk about another major factor, errors and varieties. Certain 2000 pennies from Philadelphia were struck with unusual features that increased their value dramatically. Here are the two most important ones. 1. Wide AM variety. This is one of the most famous errors in recent U.S. coin history. On most pennies minted for circulation in 2000, the word America on the reverse shows the letters A and M very close together, almost touching. But some pennies from that year were mistakenly struck with proof dies, which left a wider than normal space between the A and the M. This is called the 2000 wide AM variety, and it's very rare. These wide AM pennies have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially in mint state condition. Collectors love them, and they're relatively easy to spot if you know what to look for. Point 2. Off-center strikes and die breaks. Some 2,000 pennies also left the mint with striking errors, such as being struck off-center or showing large die cracks, cuds, or even being printed on the wrong type of planchet. These errors are rare, visually striking, and highly collectible. Values for off-center 2,000 pennies can reach several $1,000s depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. Now you might be wondering, how do I tell if my 2,000 no mint mark penny is valuable? Great question. Here are some simple steps. Step 1. Check for a mint mark. Look at the obverse side of the coin, just under the date. If there's no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, and that's what we're focusing on. Step 2. Look for the wide AM on the reverse. Flip the coin over and look at the spacing between the A and M in America. If there's a noticeable space, you could have the rare wide AM variety. Compare it with online images or other pennies to confirm. Step 3. Check the condition. If the coin is bright red, with a full, original copper color and absolutely no signs of wear, you may be holding a mint state specimen. That means you should consider having it professionally graded. Step 4. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe. Are there weird lines, cracks, doubling in letters, or parts of the design missing? These could all be mint errors, and mint errors equals higher value. Step 5. Submit for grading. If you believe your penny might be special, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. A professionally graded coin will always sell for more because buyers trust third-party certification. Let's talk real numbers now. In circulated condition, a 2,000 no mint mark penny is only worth 1 cent. But here's where it gets crazy. A 2,000 wide AM penny in MS66 RD sold $4.645. Another wide AM in MS67 RD sold $4.1. A flawless MS68 RD 2,000 no mint mark penny, no errors, just pure perfection, brought in $13,467 at auction. These are real sales, not estimates. And they prove that you could be sitting on a gold mine in copper clothing. So why are modern coins like the 2,000 penny becoming so valuable? It's because collectors are increasingly turning their attention to modern rarities, coins that weren't supposed to be special, but because of mistakes or incredible preservation, have become extremely desirable. And since millions of people don't pay attention to post-1990 coins, there's still a good chance these treasures are hiding in circulation, bank rolls, or even your pocket right now. In conclusion, the 2,000 no mint mark Lincoln penny may seem ordinary, but in the right condition, or with the right error, it could be worth thousands, even over $13,000. So the next time you're about to toss a penny into a tip jar or a vending machine, take a closer look. That little coin could be your ticket to a 5-figure payday. Start checking your change, sort through your coin jars, and keep an eye out for wide AMs, mint luster, and rare errors. And if you find something that looks promising, don't hesitate, get it graded. Thanks so much for watching today's deep dive into the 2,000 no mint mark Lincoln cent. If you learned something new or found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates on valuable coins and hidden treasures. And if you've got a 2,000 penny or any rare finds in your collection, drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear about it. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and always check your pockets. You never know when a penny might be worth $13,467. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we've got something truly surprising for you, a modern-day penny that has taken the collecting world by storm. Believe it or not, a 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny, the kind you might overlook in your spare change, can be worth up to $15,276 right now. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $15,000 for a 1-cent coin made in the last decade. So what makes this particular penny so valuable? Is it rare? Is it an error? Is it made of some special metal? Today, we're going to uncover the full story, the history of the 2016 Lincoln cent, how it's possible that one of these coins is worth thousands, what key features to look for, and how you can check if the penny in your pocket might just be a hidden treasure. Let's dive into the fascinating world of the 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny. First, let's talk about the basics. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American currency since 1909, when it was introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the coin has gone through a few design changes. The reverse of the penny featured wheat ears from 1909 to 1958, then the Lincoln Memorial from 1959 to 2008. Starting in 2010, the reverse was changed again to the Union Shield design, the version still used today, representing the unity of the United States. The 2016 Lincoln cent features the classic bust of President Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Union Shield reverse, designed by Lyndall Bass. The coin is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plated, weighing 2.5 grams, and struck in large numbers. Over 9 billion 2016 pennies were produced across all U.S. mint facilities. Now here's where things get interesting. The Philadelphia Mint, which produced a huge number of 2016 pennies, traditionally does not place a mint mark on circulating cents. That means most 2016 pennies with no mint mark are totally normal. But a very small number of these coins were struck with extremely rare features, including ultra-high-grade surfaces and specific die errors. And those are the ones commanding values of up to $15,276 at auction. Let's talk about what makes the valuable ones stand out. Point 1. Grade and condition. MS69 and MS70 specimens. The vast majority of 2016 pennies have been through circulation and show signs of wear. But a handful have been preserved in perfect mint condition, graded as MS69 or even MS70 by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC. MS stands for Mint State, and a grade of 70 means the coin is absolutely flawless under 5x magnification, a perfect coin. These high-grade modern coins are extremely rare because they require flawless handling from the moment they're struck until they're encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder. A single scratch, fingerprint, or contact mark disqualifies a coin from the top grades. When a 2016 no mint mark penny achieves MS69 or MS70, collectors go wild, especially if it's also full red, meaning it retains that bright coppery luster. Point 1. Such MS70 RD 2016 penny recently sold at auction for a staggering $15,276, setting a new high-water mark for modern Lincoln cents. Point 2. Full red designation. RD color grading. Coin color matters, especially for Lincoln cents. Over time, copper coins tone down and turn brown or red-brown. But when they are freshly struck and well-preserved, they maintain their vibrant red appearance. Coins graded as RD, red, command a significant premium over their RB, red-brown, and BN, brown, counterparts. A 2016 no mint mark penny graded MS69 RD or MS70 RD is among the rarest modern coins to receive such a grade. Only a tiny fraction of coins submitted for grading achieve this level of perfection and color preservation. Point 3. Strike quality and die characteristics. In addition to grade and color, some 2016 Lincoln cents have unique striking qualities or die varieties. These include double die obverse, where the lettering or Lincoln's profile appears slightly doubled under magnification. Die chips, especially around Lincoln's eye or mouth. Cuds or die breaks, which can appear as raised blobs on the edge of the coin. Off-center strikes, where the design isn't aligned properly. While these errors don't automatically push the value into the thousands, when combined with high condition and red color, they can make a 2016 penny significantly more desirable to collectors. Point 4. Population scarcity. It's not just about condition, it's about how many coins like it exist. In the case of the 2016 no mint mark penny graded MS70 RD, there are extremely few known examples, making it a low population coin. Coin grading companies publish population reports, and when collectors see that only a handful of MS70 RD examples exist, they know they're looking at something incredibly rare. This rarity, paired with demand from collectors who seek registry coins, the best examples of each date for display or investment, causes auction values to spike. Let's summarize the value breakdown. A circulated 2016 no-mint mark penny is worth 1 cent. A nice uncirculated example might fetch 10 cents to $2.00. An MS-66RD or MS-67RD might be worth $10 to $1.50. An MS-68RD could bring $150 to $300. An MS-69RD might sell for $700 to $1.500, and the extremely rare MS-70RD examples have fetched $10,000 to $15,276 or more, depending on timing, auction demand, and market trends. Now you're probably asking, how do I check if my 2016 penny is worth thousands? Here's a simple checklist. No mint mark under the date. This confirms it was minted in Philadelphia red color. Bright, coppery red with no signs of wear or discoloration. No scratches or damage. Must be flawless to the naked eye and under magnification. No fingerprints. These lower the grade instantly. Error signs. Look for doubling, die cracks, or unusual features. Send it in for grading. If you think it's flawless, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional evaluation. You may have to pay a small fee to have it graded, but it's a small price if the result is a coin worth thousands. If your coin comes back as MS-70RD, you've just hit the jackpot. And here's a pro tip: search through uncirculated coin rolls from the bank or sealed mint sets. These have a better chance of containing pristine coins that could qualify for high grades. Now let's answer a big question. Why would anyone pay so much for a modern penny? The answer lies in registry collecting and investment. Many collectors compete to build the best possible collection of every date and mint mark. They want the highest grade of each year. When only one or two perfect examples of a 2016 penny exist, they'll pay a premium to own it. It's also a market driven by scarcity, prestige, and a long-term belief that top-grade modern coins will continue to appreciate. As more people discover coin collecting, the demand for finest known coins only increases. In conclusion, the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny may seem ordinary, but under the right conditions, it can be an extraordinary find. With a current high auction value of $15,276, this modern penny proves that even recent coins can carry massive value if they are rare, flawless, and well-preserved. So don't ignore those copper coins in your change. Check them. Study them. Protect the good ones. Because you never know, the next penny you touch could be worth more than your paycheck. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon for more deep dives into rare coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures. Drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin or think you might have a perfect 2016 penny. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're passionate about coins, numismatics, or just love the idea of finding treasure in your spare change, then you're going to want to hear this. Today, we're diving deep into a modern penny that could be sitting in your pocket right now and might just be worth over $22,009. That's right. We're talking about the 2017 P Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent coin. It's a coin that seems ordinary at first glance, but when you understand the history behind it and the rare varieties to look out for, you'll realize why collectors are paying thousands for the right version of this humble penny. So let's get started. The shocking history behind the 2017 P penny. In the long history of the U.S. Mint, 2017 marked a very special occasion. It was the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint, founded way back in 1792. To commemorate this historic milestone, the Mint did something it had never done before. It added a P Mint mark to the Lincoln penny, for the first time ever. Let that sink in. For over a century, Philadelphia minted pennies carried no mint mark at all. Collectors knew that a penny without a mint mark was from Philadelphia. It was tradition. But in 2017, as a one-time celebration of its 225th birthday, the mint included the P mint mark on the obverse side of the penny, right under the ear. This was a historic first, and collectors knew immediately that these coins would be sought after for years to come. But what most people didn't realize is that some of these 2017 P pennies were struck with errors or extremely high-quality dies, making them worth a fortune today. Why the 2017 P penny is worth money? Most 2017 P pennies in circulation are still only worth face value, 1 cent. But there's a twist. There are rare error coins and high-grade examples that are drawing massive interest from collectors across the globe. Some coins have been graded by professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, and have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auction. But why? Let's break it down. Point 1. The historical significance. As mentioned before, this is the only year in U.S. history where the Lincoln cent carried a P mint mark. That alone makes this coin collectible, especially in uncirculated condition. Point 2. Rarity in high grades. Finding a 2017 P penny in mint state 68 or higher is incredibly tough. The vast majority of these coins show signs of wear, even straight from the mint. Coins that are near perfect, graded MS68 or MS69, are highly desirable and command huge premiums. In fact, an MS68 RD, red designation, 2017 P Lincoln cent has been sold at auction for well over $2,000.30. Rare errors that can make you rich. Now here's where things get really exciting. Several types of errors have been found on 2017 P pennies, and some of them are worth thousands. Let's go over a few of the most valuable errors. Double die averse, DDO. This occurs when the coin is struck twice slightly off alignment, resulting in a doubling effect on the date or lettering. These varieties can sell for $50 to $500 or more, depending on the clarity and condition. Off-center strikes. A coin that was struck significantly off-center, say 40% or more, can be worth hundreds to thousands, depending on the extent of the error and how well it displays the date. Die cracks or cuds. These are caused by damage or breaks in the die used to strike the coin. Large die cracks or retained cuds on a 2017 P penny can raise the value significantly. Struck through errors. If a foreign object got between the die and planchet during striking, it leaves a unique impression. These types of errors are incredibly rare and collectible. Wrong planchet errors. This happens when a penny is accidentally struck on a planchet meant for another coin, for example, a dime or foreign coin. These are extremely rare but can sell for thousands. Auction record: $22,009 for a 2017 P penny? Now let's get to the headline you've all been waiting for. Yes, a 2017 P mint mark Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $22,009 at a private auction. This particular coin wasn't just any ordinary penny. It was an era coin with extremely high grade, rare condition, and a perfect strike. It had everything a collector could ever want: uniqueness, historical value, and flawless quality. Because the P mint mark was used only for a single year, and because that specific coin had one of the most desirable error types ever seen on a modern cent, the bidding war went wild. And the final price hit that astounding 5-figure mark. How to check if you have a valuable 2017 P penny? Alright, so now you're probably wondering, could I have one of these valuable coins sitting in my piggy bank or coin jar? Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. Look below the date. If there's a P under the 2017, that's your first good sign. Inspect the condition. Is the coin shiny and new-looking, or dull and scratched? Uncirculated coins have the highest value. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look at the date and lettering for signs of doubling. Check for off-center strikes or unusual marks. Look for raised areas or lines that don't belong, possible die cracks or cuds. Get it graded. If you think you've got something special, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. A certified coin always fetches more value than an uncertified one. Tips for coin collectors: if you're collecting pennies or just getting started in the world of coin hunting, here are a few tips to keep in mind. Never clean your coins. Cleaning can damage the surface and destroy the value. Store coins properly in holders or flips to avoid wear. Use gloves when handling valuable coins. Always check your pocket change, especially with modern coins. You never know what treasure you'll find. Conclusion: don't ignore the pennies. The 2017 P mint mark Lincoln penny is a modern marvel in the world of numismatics. It's a symbol of tradition, history, and value, all wrapped up in one tiny copper-plated zinc coin. Most people overlook pennies. They drop them, leave them behind, or throw them in jars never to be seen again. But as we've just discovered, one of these pennies could be worth $22,009 or more. So check your change. Search those coin rolls. Dig into that jar. Because the next 2017 P. Lincoln penny you find could be the one that changes your life. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on the next rare coin spotlight. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny. We love hearing your stories. Until next time, happy hunting.